Hello, friends, foes, and those undeclared. If you recognize us in our outfits and haircuts, it's because we just shout out the past. Welcome back to Mended Timelines. If you don't know what we're talking about, well then, what are you doing? Go back and watch. Right. How are we feeling tonight, my players?
Ready
Okay.
to explore
Ready?
a little more.
Yes. Are you ready to explore a little
Did
more?
you say? Did you say you're ready to explode a little more?
No. Easy there, Gizmo.
Easy, Gizmo. Easy.
Okay. Let's talk about past events, shall we? You have made your way to Bulwark Island, expecting the rest of the crew to join you in about a day's time, right? About, 8 to 10 hours. For them to sort of build a raft and then make their way through the currents from your shipwreck location, where you met all of them, to here on the Bulwark. You made two major discoveries. One was the rotting corpse of the legend, the ship whose treasure you have been sent here to find, and the camp where the crew had been surviving for maybe around 2 months. Within those locations, you discovered the possibility of, basically your next quest marker, which was going to be on Sentinel Island, just across the waves, where apparently some green terror had been kidnapping sailors and bringing them there. You decided, before doing so, to explore the ship, and fell into somewhat of an ambush by a astral marrow. Astrea Astrea pulling the same teleportation trick to get out of the creature's grasp, who then turned its attention to Pax, who basically almost, for a semi-aquatic creature, drowned. Right?
Almost.
Yeah. Level 2 is squishy, people. Remember that. And this is where we find our adventure. Where we pick up on the adventure once again, as you have been brought up, sort of. You're not. I don't know how much you're coughing, Pax, but you're certainly being brought back up to the surface, and as Farron and Gizmo, you've seen this from afar, not really understanding what you were seeing, until Astrea's underwater spell pretty much lit up the ether. So let's move to you two, actually. Farron, Gizmo, this is you've been sort of pulling on this long rope, understanding that there was a beam. You're basically salvaging ship parts at that point, and the last thing that you saw from Pax was saying everything's okay. It is not an emergency. This is just pulling up resources. So heave ho, and then he just disappeared under the waves. So Farron, Gizmo, what are you up to?
Well, from our point of view, again, everything is going fine. The alpha of the group said everything is fine, so we will just, we clearly have to follow the we clearly have to follow the indication that we just have to pull the beam. So I'll start pulling on the rope.
Yeah, I will essentially do the same thing, though I think that with the explosion, I kind of made a gesture to drop the. There's a word for that kind of rope, but I forgot it. Like the big rope to tow it, and
This is
see if I can.
not a big rope, right? This is a standard adventure pack rope. So it's
Oh, okay.
not that.
It's just good old hemp rope.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I
In which case, yeah.
I guess you could have found some maybe at the camp, but anything would be about almost maybe 10 years old now. So anything that you have would have been freshly made from or scavenged from your shipwreck.
Okay. Is there any way? How far is kind of like the explosion that we noticed in terms
This
of?
is about maybe 20 meters away. No, probably less than that.
Okay.
So I would say about 300 feet. 10, yeah, about 10 meters away. But
In which
down,
case,
right? And
yeah. In which case, I do try to kind of like drop the rope and go for a dive, try and see if I can spot anything in anyone in distress.
Okay, so Gizmo,
yeah,
you've
okay.
got so Farron basically drops the rope.
Yeah.
You all of a sudden, because let's face it, strength is not your suit. You feel the rope basically go zzzzt, and you slide along with it, almost being pulled at the same speed as Farron is diving in. You find yourself almost pulled into the water with him. What are you doing?
I try to pull as hard as I can, even if the bees making me.
Let's go for a strength check.
Yeah, that's gonna be super fun. Wait, didn't I have something with the armor that I could
Yes,
use for, like-
I believe that
I
if you
could-
extend,
I can add my intelligence, I think.
yeah, you can add your. So roll. Is it for just strength check or athletics as well? Roll me an athletics check.
Good question. Wait, armor, magic, strength. You can expend a charge to add intelligence to a strength check or saving throw. So specifically for strength.
No, any strength check. So that would be athletics is a strength check.
So that's gonna be athletics. Can I roll with the modifier already, or
No, roll and just we'll add we'll add the what?
Okay.
It's what, a +3, +4.
I get a +4 to intelligence. Yeah.
Right. So that is a 4 for an immediate 8.
Okay.
So I think what happens when you expend the arms? How does it express itself?
How does it express?
As in, is it
itself?
does it bolster your strength? Or does it add to? Do spines come out to sort of help you stabilize?
I would imagine that one of the runes on, let's say, on the collar of the armor, it just fades away, and the scales on my teeny tiny cobalt feet, they become a little bit more rough. They kind of flare out to give me more more grip on the sand, but still I get
It's sand.
yeah, it's sand.
Yeah, to quote what's his name, George R. R. Martin in his Wildcards book, is that super strength is super useful up until the point where you have somewhere to basically base it on, right? If you can't pick up a car if you're going to go through the floor, basically.
Fair.
So yes, you were despite the armor sort of flaring out, trying to help you take your grip. The sand you just slide across the slide across the rock. Astrea, you wanted to say something.
No. I realized that we're still underwater, and so I can't handle it. So no worries.
Okay. Yeah, I think Farron, as you dive in again, the ether is something that is quite clear in a way, right? As in, even if I would actually say, as you dive in, sort of holding your breath, you realize that as you open up your eyes, maybe there is that sort of translucent sheen to the ether anyways, but you're not feeling the sting of the ether up against your eyes as you open them in the water. It's like if you were just looking through air. There's not that that stinging of either sea salt or just water against your eyes. It's almost like it's like you were wearing sort of goggles that you can't feel, right? You can just see perfectly, and you can see. I think Pax, you've just been. I think this is where Astrea would have caught Pax and brought him up. Where did we leave off? I think.
Basically, when I killed the Green Terror, Pax managed his saving throw against the paralysis, like right up that turn.
So I think Farron, as you sort of dive through, the scene is you can see Astrea sort of bobbing right underneath the surface. This bubble of vaporized ether sort of bubbling up as she just threw the spell, and Pax sort of move. You can see basically separating shapes of Pax and the Marrow as one surges towards the top, towards the surface, and the other one sort of slowly falls into the into the body of the ship.
Ah, hells! And I swim towards them. And does Pax look conscious at this point?
Yes, he is swimming. He's swimming to the surface.
Right. Because that's what Farron would check first, making sure that there is nothing else coming up from the deep. Looking at if they need any help, if they seem in distress, and if they seem like they can handle it, then I would start coming back and keeping an eye out for Gizmo, who's not where I left him.
I think that what you can definitely see across the water is that beam that you've been hoisting up is slowly sort of sinking downwards, and as you can see, the rope basically unfurling. Not hearing Gizmo splash into the water as I mean, at what point, Gizmo, do you drop the rope, or did you just let yourself be?
So Gizmo is very tenacious, but he's not done. So do I see what do I see Farron just going for?
Oh, you saw him.
And...
You basically, I think, because I can guess that he was actually behind you. So you feel the slack behind you, the weight of it being pulled all entirely onto your shoulders and legs, and basically Farron passing you by and diving into the ether. On your end, that's pretty much it.
Okay. And you're not saying anything, Farron. You just go for it.
Well, you saw big boom in the water, and then Farron gets a case of the zoomies and jumps in.
Okay, fair enough.
that Farron's eyes going wide as a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Squirrel.
I mean, at this point, I can recognize that I don't have any chance with the beam anyway, right? So at this point, might as well follow and see what the hell Farron is doing.
Farron, Gizmo, both of you give me an athletics check.
Do I need to say that I use the charge before the roll, or can I?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, it's a shitty roll anyway. What am I saying?
I mean, if it's a difference between an 8 and a 13, or a 12.
While they're rolling, by the way, Pax would have gone down
what?
after disentangling with the marrow to try and catch the barrel.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I will use another charge. Because,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a 12. So both of you have 12s. Actually, there's something. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Both of you, Gizmo and Farron. There is a moment where the current hears are not necessarily strong, but they're deceiving, right? There's a few moments where, as you dived in, you're trying to move across to where Astrea and Pax are situated. But maybe it's the fact that magic has been used within the ether, something's been troubled up, been moving about. There is that just a flow of current that sort of, there's an undertow that basically catches you and sort of pushes you out from your distance. However, understanding the danger of an undertow, you paddle against it, right? And you try to sort of, you start almost, there's a moment where you almost try to will yourself across the ether as you're paddling. So could you please, both of you, make me a persuasion check?
Persuasion.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
That's our first nat 20 of the night.
Yep.
Yeah, that's. I'm coming at this from the other direction.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah.
Are you coming out of this?
Actually, Gizmo, there is a moment where you find sort of this little. There's that moment of panic where you realize this is a little guy in a big current, and as you're trying to force yourself, and you sort of, there's a moment where, by sheer force of will, you find yourself moving. You find yourself moving almost faster than you are paddling with your hands and feet.
Okay.
And you find yourself almost propelled. There's a moment where you stop moving and you just find yourself, just by sheer willpower, moving across the ether. One of the particularities of the ether is indeed that it recognizes intention, which means at any moment, should you wish, you can, if you wish to swim through the ether, you may replace it by a intimidation or persuasion check.
Okay. So
Something that
across the sea.
Pax and Astrea you should know very much about. Just, Farron and Gizmo, this is the first time in the drink.
Okay then.
Which also might explain why you were so exhausted, yet found yourself on the beach. So just by pure willpower. Farron, let's deal with that nat 1, shall we?
Yeah.
I think. God, I was worried about Gizmo. I wasn't worried about you. I think I think there's a moment where you had a little bit of. I mean, you're a bit forward. Let's put it this way, because I don't want to spend hours on this. Basically, Gizmo, you grab him by the back as he's sort of flailing. There's a moment where Farron, I guess the panic sinks in. You can see yourself being drifted. All those images of mariners sort of lost at sea, right, taken through an undercurrent, and you're going, oh my god, this is me. This is I'm gonna end up like one of those corpses. Sort of just brought out to sea, and then all of a sudden you have Gizmo that just grabs you by the back of their shirt, holding you aloft like Superman, basically, right? Like Superman holding a struggling Lois Lane, and just rushes
Super
through.
Gizmo.
And
Nice.
you also, I would say, to add to that effect, you also do notice as you're sort of looking up, the ether is just a little bit brighter around him.
Huh. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Because I think what happened to Farron is just his conscious mind caught up with his instincts. Like, wait a minute, I'm trying to survive here. Why am I jumping in the ether? This is bad.
Yeah, it's like that guy who jumped from the Golden Gate Bridge and halfway down said, "Oh, this is a bad idea."
Yeah, pretty much. Oh.
I was actually thinking, or it might be that Farron just doesn't know because he's torn between three goals: retrieving the log, helping Astrea and Pax and going back to Gizmo.
Oh, you lost Farron's camera.
Yep.
There we go. Thank you. You're back.
Excellent. Yeah, internet did a thing, unfortunately, but
The internet
that-
is for bugs. Okay.
Apparently, when you use dark mode, you attract less of them.
Yeah.
huh.
Cute. Very cute. For let's say that at some point, all of you, shenanigans aside, let's sort of fade away and let's meet to. In Pax, you can breathe underwater, so it's not necessarily a problem. But let's meet up back on the shore. So you've not on the. You can decide if you want to. Not really on the rift above. So just on the shore where you were sort of pulling the beam to. Astrea, Farron, Gizmo, and Pax, you find yourselves there. And Pax, you do have one of these kegs, these small hoghead-sized powder kegs. You notice that it is stamped with the sigil of the Empire. So this is sort of imperial standard. And it's very much one of those sort of squat, sort of rounded, so that it's the kind of barrel that will not roll on its own. Very very similar to the one that Gizmo had found and used previously.
Yeah, I think first thing Pax will just push that barrel over the sand towards Gizmo to replace your old one. Astrea, thanks.
You're right there.
Don't mention it. That was very much a mutual thing. Dang.
Something's bothering me about that marrow.
Notice something?
It looked more humanoid than the previous one.
No, it is the previous one.
It was the same that one.
It's the same one.
It was the same one.
My bad.
Yeah, I know. It's because I used two different images, but it is. I will reiterate that this is the one that attacked Astrea previously.
Recanting
That-
my words.
Pack, you actually didn't see if my memory serves. I'm the
No,
only
that
one
is
who-
right. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. It looked very humanoid, Pax would then say.
Yes.
Well, it looked like the statue you found. Like the little. If I'm not wrong, and I understood all the clues that the DM gave us last time, I think it very much looked like.
All of you can make me a nature check. Nature or Arcana.
+2.
Well, I know what I'm doing.
Sure.
Okay.
I rolled better.
And so Farron, we're just missing yours. Okay, Farron 15. So I have no idea how Gizmo knows this. I would understand why Farron would. But basically, Astral Marrow are a mutation, and it's sort of, they are a cursed version of the Astral Merfolk. As in, the Astral Marrow reproduce by infecting Merfolk.
Okay.
Yeesh.
So when Astrea, you are saying this looks like a merfolk, something in Gizmo's and Farron's minds sort of go, oh wait, we've heard stories about maybe Gizmo, maybe there was a merfolk among your crew that maybe told you about this. This is one of the merfolk, the local merfolk's worst fears is to be turned into one of these things, right?
Okay.
Because you lose your mind, you lose your sense of self, and your any sort of you go back to sort of these basic instincts. And so, yes, most likely, the reason why it looks like a merfolk is because there used to be one.
Yeah, this is one of the nastiest things that you can find out there. Probably used to be fairly civilized, I suppose, up until that happened. It's not some.
Well, at least we
Yeah.
put it out of its misery.
Oh, I think by the time we found it, it was quite happy about what it was. Not that it could remember being anything else, probably. Well, is that better than the alternative? Question for the philosophers, I suppose.
Astrea is still looking a little pale and like ethery on the side.
There's,
Because
yeah,
yeah.
there's definitely, you can feel there's that. I'll try. I need to get you a primer on ether. So yeah. So there's so ether tastes acidic and bright, like drinking starlight. It coats the throat smoothly like quicksilver and burns when coughed up as a stomach spasm at its otherworldly touch. And it said that wait, I love that. In small quantities, such as incorrectly prepared ether fish or worse, in a poisoned drink, ether has a distinctive sour tang, as if the dish had been woefully over-lemoned. So you have this sort of acidic, citric taste as you sort of those you find yourself a little bit bloated and sort of hiccuping, and there's just a vapor of ether smoke coming out of your mouth and heading towards the shoreline, as you realize that yes, during whatever happened there, you did indeed swallow ether. Fortunately, this is just minutes after, and not hours.
Yeah.
Well, good news is we have some water and we have all the ingredients. So
Even
this should.
better, if my memory serves, we have a couple of antidotes put away in the batch in the satchel.
Right. Well, let's put them to good use.
Pax, you're muted.
Wow, I was. My apologies. As Astrea says that, Pax very mechanically moves towards the satchel, just goes to pull it open to take one of the bottles out.
Yeah, there's I would guess this would be more of you sort of sacrifice one of your water skins to be an antidote skin.
Yeah,
and yeah. I think we'd rolled something along the lines you had 2 full doses, but again, there's ample enough from what you have seen here on this island to brew up. It's just going to take an hour or 2.
Yeah. But since we do have fully functioning ones already prepared, I think Astrea is just gonna down a dose, just to make sure.
Yeah.
Be on the safe side.
Yeah, and there's that burning sensation. The way the antidote works is it is basically the ether lilies, or those red sort of petals that are ground up, basically sort of absorb like a sponge. So it's basically like swallowing coal when you have sort of stomach bug or something along those lines. So it's sort of and then therefore is sort of evacuated. But yeah, definitely you are feeling better. The sensation is almost immediate.
Merblood petals.
Merblood petals. Yeah, there we go. Remember, it was something called blood lilies, but that's something different.
Okay.
What I saw from the ship is everything useful has been scavenged after it sank. This is all I could find. And I gesture towards the keg and then the little figurine.
And the floating log that is somewhere
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
water now.
Along with your rope, by the way.
Yeah. I think we'll reel the rope back in at one
Pax,
point.
I think that what you had found, you had also found a small chest, if I remember correctly.
Right, yes.
When I'm guessing that most likely that is sort of sitting on the sand somewhere, Gizmo, you get your hands into it. It is basically, this is where it's a small communal chest for various effects, right? So you'll have there's about, I would say, about 50 gold. I mean, Farron, you have an eye for value. As you're looking through, it's a whole series of rings, trinkets, gold chain. It's anything that would have been of a personal nature to some of the to either people who have been captured or to some of them. This is basically assorted jewelry and trinkets, and for about 50 gold's worth.
Okay. Out of curiosity, would it be possible to do a little bit of sleight of hand and to have a look at some of those objects in that chest?
I mean, I don't think a sleight of hand. I mean, if you just approach and look over Gizmo's shoulder and sort of reach your hand in, it's not a problem.
All right, fair enough. Then
If you just stand, you don't have to look over the shoulder because.
No. The idea is not just to look. The idea is very much to touch.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Gizmo, you're the dragonkin according to some worlds. Do you let Farron touch your hoard?
Of course not.
Okay. Okay, Farron, sleight of hand, please.
Okay.
And Gizmo, what is your passive perception?
My passive perception is enough to not make Farron succeed. It says like that on my character sheet.
I'm going for, if it helps, I'm going for one golden trinket or golden coin that I can find. Let's see how that's going for me. Not very. Yay, my rolls are back. Nice.
No.
Gizmo, what's your passive perception?
It's 14.
14. Farron, did you beat 14?
That's investigation. Sorry, it's 9. Passive
9.
perception.
Okay, so you need a 10 or better.
Yeah, about that.
Slight difference.
Yeah.
Why is it not? Oh, did it not send through? It's 7.
It's a 7. So yes,
No way.
Gizmo, you basically see Farron's sticky fingers sort of rushing, moving towards the chest. What do? Do you let him do it, or just bat him away? What?
Let me see. I want to do something fun. So I just see the hand trying to.
Yeah, you've just opened. You're looking through the treasure in this little chest. Your very first treasure chest as a pirate, right? And Farron is going, "Oh, let me have a look."
Okay. I will. I will spend 1 use of my draconic cry.
Yeah.
Okay.
To just shriek in rage like a little kobold, like, "What are you doing, stop!" And well, technically we all have advantage on attack rolls against you until next turn, but
I think with the sound of alarm, Pax gives Farron just instinctively a murderous glare and then sees that it's Farron and gets confused.
yeah.
Like a cat that just hissed and doesn't know why, actually.
Astraea's like, what happened?
All right, I won't.
He was
do
touching the
that.
shinies!
I guess I won't do that then.
Thank you.
As long as you realize, Gizmo, that at some point the shinies are going to have to be spent. Probably next time we find a town.
Until we find town, Gizmo thinks shinies should be kept safe. From Farron, especially.
Specifically.
Why from Farron?
Because he was trying to put his paws on the shinies. And I like the shinies. More than he likes.
He likes the shinies. What can I say?
You realize that Pax was the one who found the chest, right?
As Astrea says that, Pax completely silently puts himself right behind Gizmo at the tallest of his height, looking down.
Yes.
I
And
can
that
throw it back
according-
to the bottom of the ocean for you to go and dive up and prove that it's yours. Otherwise, I suggest a four-way split. We are from different crews, after all.
I look up at Pax. I look at Farron. I look at Astrea. Well, you heard the boss. And I just
Are
give
we-
up.
Are we seriously going to do the crew thing?
Thank you, Pax. I was going to say that according to distribution rights, it would be split among us equally, with a small advantage to Pax since he was the one to find the treasure.
I relinquish my advantage. I would have been dead without your support.
So I suggest that the treasure stays in the chest until someone needs it. Except if someone really needs it right now. But I don't think gold is gonna do a lot of good here.
I get closer to the chest slowly and I'm like, Gizmo needs it right now. And I try to paw something from the chest. Like anything I can get my hands on.
Yeah, like it's. Here's the thing, right? This is a lot of. There's more here than it's not expensive stuff, right? So there's a lot of stuff, right? This little chest has been sort of. So there's a lot of gold chains. There's a sort of a maybe. You'll see maybe trinkets like a ring or a necklace with a holy symbol. You'll see cameos of people you've never met and probably will never meet. You know, that kind of thing. So what is? You tell me what Gizmo pulls out.
So since basically almost everything is something that you can wear, more or less, what I will do is just I take the chest, I basically put it over my head, I just shower myself with the content of the chest and I come out with like 5 or 6 necklaces around my neck, 1 ring for each finger of my hands, and also a couple belts around my waist.
Okay, we have no idea how all of that got onto you, but I will accept it. Okay, fair enough.
And then I just walk away from the chest very satisfied with myself.
Okay, fair enough.
Gizmo, that is not 1/4 of the content of this chest. You'll put it back after, please.
Gizmo has never been very good at math. Actually, I'm lying because I've got like super high intelligence.
Yep,
That would be
I know.
that would be deception, if anything. But
You know what? Do so. Yeah, go ahead. Go for deception.
I used to run a shop in Deepwater, so
That's an 11.
Okay.
Okay.
Passive insight of 13.
wow.
Farron, passive insight.
Passive insight of 12.
Okay, so yeah, Gizmo is fooling
Everyone
no
is on
one.
to me.
Nope.
Say, I'm not good at math. Huh?
Hey, Gizmo.
Yes?
I slowly pull out my short sword. Now you're robbable.
My eyes go wide. Like,
You might want to put it away. You know, where my greed can't see you. And I just want to pump up as I say this like I do just before battle, not rushing him at all, just trying to instill the fear of Pax into him.
I'm taking off my earrings one after the other very slowly. I put them on the ground. I take off like the 5 or 6 chains around my neck. And I still try to sneak away with the 2 belts on my waist though.
Fair enough. Okay. So, shenanigans. At some point I'm going, is this all it needs to do to break up a player character? 50 gold pieces of random junk?
When you put Nader as a kobold in front of it, yes.
You know what? I'll adjust.
Gizmo Ferengi confirmed.
Yes. So are you sure you don't want Gizmo as a quartermaster?
Honestly, yes. The books will be empty.
I mean, put a thief in charge of the treasury, and
At least you will know it's always gonna be super safe. Like
Yeah.
nobody will put their hands on that stuff.
Right. So Astrea, you've done the potion. You're feeling a bit better. There's on occasion that you'll get that hiccup and you'll get that vapor coming out, but you know you're safe. Pax, yeah, you've pretty much held your breath the entire time, so there was no issues for that. But Astrea, this is the first time you've cast magic within the
Yeah.
ether. So it's the first time that you've seen this sort of bump in power. There's something, and to be honest, there was something reminiscent, right? Of going, whoa, where's... I used to have this power, right? There's something powerful that coursed through your veins just for a moment as you drank in the ether. That was maybe reminiscent of something in the past. I'm hoping the player understands what I'm saying, what I'm putting out.
yeah. And you see Astrea pulling her sleeves up a little bit, looking at her skin with intrigue and curiosity, and for anyone with a high enough insight, a little bit scared as well.
Well, I have a passive insight of 12, so enough for Gizmo, not enough for Astrea, I'm afraid.
I have 9.
Yeah, I think Pax, you notice it's a good thing that you notice Astrea being a bit.
I think at that moment, Pax will briefly lock eyes to Farron, going like, "You watched a little one in the chest."
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Just walks to like past Astrea and pretty much continues walking as he says, "Captain, a word."
Astrea snaps back into yes.
Takes a little bit of distance from the other two and looks towards Astrea. "We're not a crew yet. But we can be. For that to happen, you're gonna need to keep it together, Captain."
And I will, Pax. It's just... my magic was stronger in the ether. I know vaguely about the ether having effects on magic. I think the Empire is using it somehow for their weapons. It's the first time it happened to me. It's a bit intriguing.
When you're leading a crew, Captain, find one person you can tell the whole truth to. I'm not gonna pry, 'cause we're not a crew yet. But this troubles you. And
It's less a trouble and more a surprise and unexpected. Yeah. And you really see the Astrea coming out of interrogation and back into... all right.
as soon as Astrea
Taken
seems to snap,
stock, and yeah, she snaps back.
Pax follows suit. As soon as she seems snapped out of it, he doesn't press any further.
Thank you, Pax. Let's see. What are the next steps?
So we know that the legend was salvaged, and probably several pieces were dragged onto shore as we saw the encampment deeper in the woods.
Not really.
That's my idea as well.
Not really.
Whatever.
Not really?
No, unless it was for firewood. But you had there was no construction. There was no palisades, right? They set up the camp there. Maybe with rigging and sails and stuff like that. That certainly was picked clean. But in no way did Pax did you see the sheer volume of wood.
Oh, no. But I did mean like the sails is pretty much the breadcrumb that Pax is referring to right now.
My bad. Go ahead.
Sorry. It goes to assume that they stockpiled what was usable somewhere deeper on the island.
Would there have been enough salvaged for them to make a raft of some kind? Because they would have tried to get out of here.
DM, if I recall correctly, last session, I saw a large chunk of hull that was completely stripped of wood.
Yep.
Would it be correct to assume that this would be much more than just a raft? Like a small boat for...
From what you've seen here, this would be at least a raft, or maybe this would be more of a the size of a large raft. But I mean, do you have any skills in as a shipwright, or
Nope.
difficult to tell exactly what they would make? But
I mean, I do have the shipwright.
sure, yeah, absolutely. But the question is, Pax is trying to tell me to ascertain from what he saw.
Okay. Yeah.
There's quite a bit that was taken out. I mean, I would say maybe of maybe about, I'd say 20% of the, if you take the whole of the hull, maybe about 20% of it was sort of gone. But it would be enough to make a good sized raft. If they had other people that were sort of expert in manipulating wood beams to make maybe a longboat or something along those lines, but From what you can tell,
Yeah.
nothing very elaborate.
Yeah. So enough for one big raft or maybe two smaller ones. But anything in the quarters was picked clean as well. Aside from the keg, the chest, and the figurine, it's all rotten down there.
You also did find a cameo, right? You found a small
Yeah.
necklace with the scrimshaw
Right.
of a merfolk.
The captain was a merfolk.
Yes.
He probably picked his own shit clean. But he didn't stack it here. Probably when he became the green monster when he was turned. There was a note at the encampment saying that he was bringing people to Sentinel Island.
The island of stones, right?
Yeah. Well, at least the note was something along those lines. The marked stick. Yeah. Yeah, beat from depth. Poor soul. A captain. Cursed and turned, picking on his own crew. Dang.
At this point, I don't think we're going to avoid having to go over there. At least to figure out what's been going on here. We're following a trail of breadcrumbs that is months old, and if not years at this point. And we still have
Yes.
no idea what's going on.
I think we can start to see the broad strokes, but yeah, the answer and the ultimate finds will be on Sentinel Island then.
Should we wait for the rest to arrive and take a rest here?
I think so. We're gonna need a vessel to cross over anyways. You might be able to cross it while swimming, but I don't trust the waters.
I would be at a disadvantage if any ether wolves would show up again.
Yeah.
No, after what I just saw, I don't think that any of us should spend too much time alone in there. Who are we bringing with, though? Do we let people stay at the encampment on this island and bring over a few, or are we moving camp altogether?
No, Sentinel Island is a rocky outcropping. No sources of life that we know of. Here, at least, we've got water, plants, food. So let's leave the majority of the people here and just cross over, scout it, and then come back.
Right. So, who's hungry?
Good
Honestly,
eat.
I could eat. Yeah. Now that
Right.
the antidote's settled.
And Farron would start kind of like improvising a quick lunch from rations in his satchel and foraging if need be in the nearby jungle as they discuss the next steps.
Okay. Are you headed back to the camp to do this, or are you doing this on the beach?
How long do we have before anyone gets here from the rest of the
I
crew?
would say something along the lines of maybe 5 to 6 hours.
Okay,
We
then
have
we
time to
can
go
go
back
back
to
to the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. as you head through the camp now, I mean, following that sort of path, right? Which you're starting to know a little bit better. As you step forward, as you're coming to the perimeter of the camp, you can hear the sound of the monkeys again, right? And this time, as you sort of step into, who would be leading? Would this be who's up? Who would be first?
Pax would never go first. His eyes would not help. He's not perceptive, especially not in this area.
I mean, we've seen the way already, so except if someone else wants to take point, Astrea will do it.
Okay.
Pax will be second then to protect.
I'll go behind Pax.
Of course, and Farron leading the rear.
Sounds about right.
Right. So as you step into the clearing, like I said, the clearing sort of shrunk with vegetation, but as soon as you start getting into that place where you start seeing the rotten remains of these makeshift tents or whatnot, you can hear the sound of the monkeys, and it starts to. I'm hearing a lot of clicking here.
My bad.
No worries. You can hear the sort of they notice you're there as you're not really being very discreet, and actually there is going to be a right.
Talking about the camp, I remember using the alarm spell. Did anything happen for that, or
You said
are we-
everything except the monkeys.
Yeah, right. That was my question. Like, did anything set it off
No,
at all?
absolutely
Okay.
not. No. However, actually, you would feel the moment where Astrea walks into the perimeter of the camp. And Astrea, I think, what's your armor class?
She's put everything back on, so let me. 15.
15? Yeah, I think there is you're thrown. One of the sort of the larger nuts is thrown in your direction, not enough to sort of hurt you, or it sort of hits you in the middle of the chest, so that your armor taking the blow. There's not a lot of force put to it, but you're being pelted by shells and debris, and actually all four of you. So I'm going to basically make an attack on all four of you. So let's go for Farron. That's a 19. For 9 total damage.
Ouch.
Gizmo, that's a 16.
Is a creature rolling for this, or is it?
This
something
is
environmental?
this is basically a mass, a swarm, I would say, a mass of monkeys in the trees grabbing these nuts and throwing them in your general direction. What's your Gizmo? What's with the 16? Does that hit?
It would hit, but if you allow it, I would like to use a luck point to make you reroll and impose the disadvantage.
Okay, I will re-roll. That's a 13.
That's exactly my armor class.
Okay, so that is 10 damage as you are pelted. And Pax, that is a... Okay, I think that with a 20 I hit. And that's going to be 13 damage. Jeez, I think
13?
I think
13.
13 damage, yeah.
13,
you
Pax goes
feeding
down.
those-
Pax faints.
Come on.
As you are literally being pelted by somewhere around basically the entire tribe is now ready for you, and they are pelting you with anything that they can get their hands on from all by the way, this is as part of ongoing attack, right? So this is not 113 hit, right? This is a series of and you can see that for now all of them you've seen these sort of small capuchin monkeys, but you've now also can see sort of hanging in sort of lower parts of the trees the same the same format, the same shape of these capuchin monkeys, but the size of they're basically the size of Gizmo, if not some larger. And as you're looking to them, some of them have extended arms or shoulders. They have disproportionate body types. And often you'll see a glowing eye or a glowing tongue or something along the lines that shows that they are slowly, some of them has slowly mutated into ether beasts rather than just monkeys.
Imagine surviving all of this just to be taken off by.
Yeah, by monkeys. Yeah.
Astrea has a plan that she's put together while she was walking.
Okay.
So as she enters the camp and the creatures start attacking, she's going to use thaumaturgy to first launch tremors in the ground, making the monkeys hopefully uncomfortable and trigger them. And then with phantom sound, she's going to, from behind us, give the screech of a hawk, the hunting screech of a hawk, or of something, a flying creature of the expanse. I guess I've got enough experience to know what that would be, so as to scare the tribe away.
Okay. Make me a. I
I
would
would
say.
like to help. Maybe that can help with the role.
Anyways,
But-
with Astrea, considering that you're using Thaumaturgy, that would give you advantage on the roll. If you want
Okay.
if you want to just go for sound and volume, go for Intimidate. I will also accept Nature if you're trying to imitate a predator's sound, right?
I'll do it's nature or intimidation.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's the same roll. I'll go with nature. Yeah, nature.
Okay, and you have advantage.
Okay, so if help is
Luckily, because that's 17.
17. Okay. Yeah, so there's a issuing from. I mean, you tell me what kind of. You give me the description of what's going on.
So yeah, as I said, a large predatory bird, screech, hunting screech, resonates from behind us, coming towards the clearing, and as if some predator was ready to attack the pack of monkeys.
There's there's this large screech, sort of a screeching howl in a way that sort of echoes from behind you. The monkey, the smaller monkey, sort of immediately, though you're not exactly sure where they would have heard this before and gotten that, but you hit them on sort of this instinctual level of, we are prey, this is something dangerous, and they scatter. You can hear the crash of trees and of wood as the larger, let's call them what they are, apes, sort of crash through and trying to grit away without being able to swing on the higher branches. But yes, in a moment, they're out. Pax, I'm going to put you as unconscious rather than death saving throws because, right? But yes,
It's non-lethal.
Non-lethal, yeah. But yes, Pax has been basically took a bad hit to the head and is lying unconscious on the forest floor. What do the rest of you do? Clearly,
apparently we are declaring war to the monkeys.
all the creatures have fled, or only the small ones and the eater?
No. All of them have fled. All of them have fled, but they are still somewhere out there, right?
Mm.
Well,
For now, Astrea is going to turn because she probably heard Pax fall over and just say, "Oh, good." Um,
Good.
yeah, no, it's a oh shit. Could a medicine check bring him back? Yeah, it's gonna give him 1 hit point back, I guess.
So unless you have the healer fate, how do
Oh
I?
yeah, okay, yeah.
Um,
Tarn,
Yeah, sorry.
uh,
Let's let's try and
give me a
carry
hand.
this thing, yes.
Yeah, we'll move back towards the leftover cot or somewhere where we can put him down more comfortably.
Right. I think I'm gonna try and keep an eye on whatever monkeys might still be kind of like in the area, but try
No,
and
first, Gizmo's gonna keep an eye out. You are on carrying duty, Farron, because I'm not gonna ask Gizmo to carry Pax.
fair enough. And what is that, DM? An athletics check or
Oh, we're doing it together. Well, I'm
right?
helping you, but it's
Right.
basically
Okay.
yeah.
So on three, one, two, and Jesus. No, well, no, there's no Jesus in this world. Uh,
there is, but he's holding a bar somewhere in Sigil.
gods, what's in that man? And yeah, we carry him.
All right. And as soon as Pax is laid down more or less comfortably, Gizmo,
there, yes, sir.
think you can rig up some kind of traps for the monkeys? Something that might scare them away if they come back?
Gizmo will see what Gizmo can do.
Thanks. Fern,
Yeah.
will you get to cooking, please? I'm starting to feel starved.
I can do that.
Thank you. And I'll start cleaning up the camp, basically. We've rifled through, but now I'm going to basically make it more or less orderly so that it's actually usable.
Okay.
While Pax takes a well-deserved nap.
Just getting a head start on this short rest, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, down by a monkey would have been a story to tell.
Really.
Jeez.
Sorry.
I got nutted by you. I'm not going to forget that.
Oh boy.
Oh, to be fair, at least it was a nut. It could have been a rotten fruit.
I don't know which is worse.
That's true.
Not sure.
It's entirely your decision to make.
Yes, rolled 2d6 plus 3, rolled a 6 and a 4. So I almost went full damage. Right. So are we making this a short rest or are we making this a long rest?
Oh, if we have the time, Astrea will definitely make it a long rest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
but
Especially since her long rest is 4 hours.
cheating elves.
Fair.
we will need some gods though.
Honestly, Pax could just deal with a short rest. Funny enough. He could watch you guys for those that want to take a long rest.
I'll say this: if you decide to take a long rest, that's pretty much it'll coincide with the moment where the others from the ship arrive, basically.
Fair.
So
Yeah,
let's
I think
do
it's-
that. Let's hit that long rest button. In the interest of time, we unless do you want to do camp scenes? Do you want to have those those
Oh,
shift conversations right now,
uh,
or
I think we could, yeah, if we have a little time, and then
okay? Yeah,
That would be
right.
nice. Yeah, why not?
Um,
But before
so
we get to that, just to give
yep.
a follow to what Shreya told me. So actually, actual traps gonna be difficult, but I can ritual cast alarm all around the camp so that at least
yeah.
we have a perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take part of the night of the evening to just go around the whole camp and ritual cast as much as I can of the alarm. And this time it will be like a physical alarm audible by everybody.
I was gonna say, make the alarm something loud that the monkeys,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they trigger it, just hear it.
Gizmo, you also have arcane tinkering, I think, which allows you to create these three little objects that either give them
Yes.
sound or smell or whatnot.
I
So
can imbue tiny
yeah,
non-magical objects. Yes.
yeah. So I'm guessing that align with this, basically, and the alarm spell, you can rig up some traps, rudimentary as they are. You know what? Make me a tinkering check, right? So this would be a tools check with intelligence or dexterity, as you would, as you're trying to set up basically all these little.
So do I roll just dexterity or
This would be rolling. You have you have proficiency with tinkering tools, right?
I have navigator tools? And for the tinker, yeah, I have tinker's tools as
Okay.
proficiency. Yes.
You know what? It's going to be a. Okay, we'll set up on your character sheet on the break. We'll set up a basically
fair
a
enough, yeah.
tools, right?
Yeah,
But yeah,
fair.
basically you're gonna roll either dexterity or intelligence. I'm guessing, yeah, just roll for your intelligence and add your proficiency bonus.
Okay, let me
So
see if I
actually,
can-
roll your navigator's tools and you'll be fine. Basically, what I'm saying, because your
Yeah, because
tools
it's
always have the
gonna
same.
be the same. Yeah, that's fair. Yep. Okay.
That is a 15. Okay, yeah, perfect. Yes, you will be warned, and if there's any, it might not work against the bigger ones, right? But any of the smaller sort of monkeys that are coming through, even through the trees or whatnot, you will be alerted, and they will get some sort of retribution, either by a smell or by, you've rigged the trees to sort of, as soon as there's a little bit of weight, they spring, and so you'll get
Okay.
flying monkeys.
No,
Yeah.
according to Oz, flying monkeys is not a good plan.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Catapulted monkeys. Yeah. And so, yes, you're pretty sure that, and, this is something that anybody can sort of, again, rig up and whatnot. So if some, but considering Astrea's scare, you are pretty much, apart from one or two that didn't get the memo, you're not too bothered. Right, so I would ask the four of you who wants to take first watch, knowing what we know what that means in our mechanics. Astrea, you want to start?
She can totally start since she has a shorter rest period than any of them.
No, I mean, as in, I'm
Or
asking, is there anyone you want to talk to, basically?
Yeah. And Astrea would actually probably, while Gizmo is finishing eating, would come and sit next to him and say, "So, Gizmo, thanks for your help earlier.
You're welcome.
That's some nice traps. What was your role exactly on your last ship?"
My last ship. Gizmo used to do a lot of repairs, especially on the ship. Gizmo was always, trying to fix holes, remove holes. Sometimes Gizmo also created a few new ones. But yes,
I mean, you've already been real helpful to us. I can see that you're good at repairing things. How long have you been sealing?
Sorry, what was your question? I didn't hear.
How long have you been sailing? So basically, how
Oh,
long
how
have
long?
you been
Okay.
on? Yeah.
Oh wait, I have to I have to check my backstory here because we decided we did agree on some kind of Thailand. Okay, uh,
Gizmo isn't very comfortable with navigating too much. Gizmo is pretty new. It's been maybe a few moons, 4 or 5.
And
I
how
can
did
see
you
that
get
I'm
there?
actually running numbers on my fingers.
Yeah. How did you get there then, if you're not comfortable with navigating? If you don't mind me asking.
It's been no, not tall lady. Gizmo is very happy of talking with the tall lady. It's actually quite a funny story. Gizmo was in his shop in Waterdeep, and Gizmo was experimenting with this machine that he found lying somewhere, trying to understand what the machine does. And what the machine does is that it sent Gizmo here. And now Gizmo is here and not there anymore.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you have family there that might miss you? Do you want to go back?
Uh, I have a very dear uncle of mine somewhere up in the mountains protecting his horde. But Gizmo wouldn't say he will be missed too much in Waterdeep. Aside from some customers, maybe, from the workshop. They might be wondering where Gizmo went. But all in all, the pirate life is cool. I get to find a lot of shinies, and I don't have to pay taxes. So,
Yes, that is the plus, if you look at it like that.
you have no idea the paperwork you have to do to keep running a workshop in Waterdeep. Unbelievable.
I trust you on that. You know, as a captain here, you don't have that much paperwork, but sometimes you do have paperwork.
Have
Especially
you
if you're not running with the Drake.
have you ever seen tax papers that are taller than yourself? Because Gizmo did, and it was not funny at all.
Well, to be fair, they're gonna be taller than you faster than they're gonna be taller than me. But I can imagine.
That would be a lot of taxes.
All right. And how are you feeling with our new crew?
Gizmo, Gizmo is pretty fond of Pax. Gizmo really likes him. But Farron, Gizmo likes Farron as well.
Good.
He's just, he's a bit weird sometimes. Gizmo doesn't really understand what he knows and why he does some things. He was confused about his own eyes. I never saw that.
Hmm. I think we all have our mysteries and surprises. Hmm. But yeah, that is true. I think Farron hasn't gotten everything figured out yet. He'll find his way, I'm sure. And we'll help him if needed.
Yeah, I think we all have to find our way, at least out of here, first of all.
Yeah, first of all. Except the magic. Do you have any direct fighting abilities, or is that not something you're comfortable with? Because I know you're very, very good with magic and with explosives. But what about more direct fighting? How do you feel
Explosives
about
are
that?
very useful during fights. They end them
Ab-
pretty quickly, Gizmo would say.
Absolutely. I won't deny you on that.
But, yeah, Gizmo doesn't like to be directly threatened. He likes to take things from a distance and to observe. Yeah. Not really an actual kobold, Gizmo is.
Don't worry. I don't think there's really something as an actual fill in the race or species or we're each our own individuals.
Where are you going, tall lady? Why did you decide to, well, why did you accept to be the captain?
When you ask her why she did accept, she's got a she's got a slow and it's not a happy smile per se, but it's a bit of a satisfied smile.
Okay, like kind of
It's yeah,
cheeky. Yeah.
it's difficult to place exactly, but she's gonna tell you, well, at first decisions had to be made, and apparently everyone was happy with mine. So it happened kind of naturally, as you saw. And then, since apparently everyone was happy with my commands, I just kept going. I also have experience. I wasn't exactly captain, but I was co-captain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on my old ship.
What was the name of your ship again?
Wait a second. I don't have it
Oh, sorry, I
immediately.
didn't mean to be annoying. It was just
No worries.
for the lore.
EMS
Sorry.
acquisitions
Okay.
on the Erysian side.
Yeah, Gizmo will be honest. Gizmo still doesn't really understand what that means. I never been good in geography and, this whole new world and the factions and I, Gizmo doesn't know
Nah.
what they are all doing and why.
And Astrea will give you a quick, simplified rundown of basically there's the Empire, and then there are the kingdom. So the Erysian are the kingdom. Pax was on an imperial ship, and then there's the Drakes, and Farron was on a Drake ship.
Okay. As I was, because I was on an Imperial ship
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, right. And so she's just gonna say, so basically, it's mostly the kingdom and the empire fighting for access and riches on the Ethereal Sea, and the Drakes occasionally trying to attack, because that's what pirates do. Just so that Gizmo gets a basic understanding of how everything gets together.
Gizmo is nothing very interested to the whole lore of the world, but then he's like,
But aren't there any enough like shinies for everybody? We managed to split a whole, a coffer between us, even though Gizmo was very against that. But
I was gonna say, did you do that voluntarily, or did you want to keep all that gold for yourself?
Gizmo was going to share it with the crew at some point. A crew made only by Gizmo.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And so basically, imagine if the Empire is Gizmo and the Erythian Empire is another, the Erythian Kingdom is another Gizmo. And both Gizmos are fighting for the chest. How do you
So
solve
the
that?
treasure always goes to Gizmo. Interesting. We can work on that.
he's like, just to make it clear again, he's actually
Yeah,
smart. So he's
yeah,
willingly
yeah.
bending the words just to prove his point,
I think Astrea has enough insight that she goes, you know better, and you got that.
He's like, oh.
I expect, if I'm gonna be captain, that the officers on the ship, once we find it, would be a little smarter than you make yourself out to be.
When you name getting the fact that we might get a ship eventually, his ears perk up a little. Um, and then he's like,
Will it be a nice ship?
Maybe not at the beginning, but we can certainly work on making it nice.
then he gets closer and he kind of whispers,
Will it have cannons?
I've yet to see a cannon on this, a ship without cannons on this sea, so that is most likely.
That Gizmo is your kobold.
Perfect. Except if you want to add something, that's where Astrea would let the conversation go and let him rest.
no, I think it's good. We drop some gizmo lore here and there, so that's
Damn,
it was nice.
that was gonna be your next opening scene, and we just spoiled it. No. Perfect. I'd rather tell, not show. Yeah, right. Okay.
So yeah, Gizmo just parts with Astrea. He
Yeah, you
waves.
you hear a twang and a as one of your traps gets basically sprung, and one small monkey, probably coming back to get his things before moving deeper into the forest. Yeah, it's
Nice.
evictions are always a bit awkward. Gets flung across the canopy. Right. Is there a second? Who wants to go? Okay, Gizmo. Is there anyone you would like to talk to?
Oh, wow. Bonus round.
Yeah, we're gonna go through all four. So if you wanna,
Okay. I already had like last time I talked with Farron. I remember we had
everybody talk with
conversation.
Farron. Yeah.
Yeah. So this time it's been a while since I last caught up with the alpha of our tribe. So
Yeah.
every time I say that,
Stop calling me that!
funny.
We're
But
not a tribe.
by the way, Pack, could you roll me a D4? Just in.
I sure can.
Okay.
That's a 2.
Okay.
So yeah,
you've been
I'll go-
out basically for 2 hours. So I think the moment Gizmo, I think the moment is where we see sort of Pax. You're basically awakening, right? As in you're coming out of that state of unconscious. There's a massive headache. But I think Gizmo, how would you have made Pax comfortable?
Comfortable, you mean?
As in bedding, as in that kind of thing. Would you have nested him? Is what I'm asking.
I'm pretty sure I would have prepared some kind of improvised bed with twigs, leaves, and
Yeah. So Pax,
stuff that I managed to recycle from the prep.
Yeah, Pax. Basically, you find yourself you've been sort of nestled, right, with this whole thing. Massive headache, and I think as you wake up, there is the grinning visage of Gizmo just above you. Please.
Hello.
As Pax moves, by the way, it feels a bit weird because there seems to be a silhouette of him staying behind. And when he sits up, there's still kind of like his shape laying down in molted skin.
Oh, nice.
How are you feeling?
Where are they?
You mean the monkeys? Gizmo, well, make them flee away for now. But the camp is trapped, so they shouldn't be back for a while.
They threw rocks, right? Stones. Right? Don't answer that. How's the captain?
Very tall? Like always? I think those monkeys hit you way harder than we thought. Maybe you should sleep a little bit more.
As he's saying that, Pax, being unable to articulate the question in a way for Gizmo to understand, just goes and puts his hand on Gizmo's head. Not trying to hurt him in any way, but just to push him down enough so he can look over to see if he can spot, Astrea and Farron, just to confirm their location and then just sit back down. How long have I been out?
He's been out 2 hours, we said, right?
Yeah.
More or less, couple hours.
Okay. Oh, did you kill any of them?
The monkeys.
Tell me you killed any of them.
I heard I caught one half an hour ago, more or less. So maybe.
Okay.
Do you need water, some food?
Yeah, food. Water. Good idea.
I will trottle to the campfire and gather whatever Farron is preparing. And then I'll just go back and...
Yeah. I think
Pax is famished at that point. He's definitely digging in.
Fair enough.
Had a swim, then a fight, then been knocked out for 2 hours. He's...
yeah. Understandable.
Yeah, it's your basic stew, kind of like it's not an Eowyn stew, but it's actually good, but it's not my finest work, but it'll nourish you.
Pretty much no spoon involved. Just sticks his face in there and just goes at it.
Right. Okay. Well, that takes care of that. There should be seconds if you'd like.
As you're saying that, Pax comes up for seconds.
Yep. No, seriously though, you kind of gave us a scare there.
Good thing Astrea was there.
Yeah, I get that feeling a lot recently. Honestly, between everyone we could have stumbled upon, she seems to be one of the actually decent options so far.
Actually, while you both are here, just looks towards Gizmo and Farron, briefly glancing towards Astrea, not necessarily wanting to hide from her, but checking where she is before addressing the other two. What do you intend to do once we get off this island?
Pay my debts, start a new life, cook on land for once. Maybe try and see if I can put some pieces together that got scrambled along the way.
And you
And,
intend to do that?
wait.
No, I snap. As soon as Gizmo speaks, Pax snaps his head and stops mid-sentence.
Oh, hi. Do you want some grub as well?
Sorry, what did you say? I didn't, because there was a lag.
Hi. Do you want some grub as well? And I extend
Oh yeah, okay.
the. At this point, it's the scrapings of the pot. Like there's a portion set aside for Astrea, and for myself. But
Kobolds have long tongues, so I just.
Both Pax and Gizmo are there like...
I just. Exactly.
remind me not to ask you how you cleaned in the galley.
Actually. And but then Gizmo goes back to answering the question from Pax, and he's like, Gizmo doesn't really know what he wants to do because, as he was saying to the tall lady, that I don't really want to be here, but I kind of like it, so maybe Gizmo would want to stay a bit more and see what else this plane has to offer, and maybe one day Gizmo will go home.
Where is home for you?
I'm actually very happy that you asked that specific question because I can drop an even bigger clue. Voila. Waterdeep, Street of Silver, number 7.
You have no idea what that is.
What's a water deep?
It's not something. I look at you like, are you okay? It's not something. It's a place. It's a city. Waterdeep.
Huh. Okay.
A city in water?
Well, not in the water, but there's quite a lot of it.
Actual water or more like points towards the expanse?
No, actual water, and it's salty. That's very weird, but
Huh.
it's salty, and you cannot drink that stuff. So pretty much like here.
Well, how long has it been since you last saw it? This water deep.
More or less, 4, 5, maybe 6 moons.
Moons. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Anyone else that you met from there?
You mean that I met from Waterdeep, or?
Yes.
Ah, okay. During, no, Gizmo was kind of, well, transported here through a very weird contraption that Gizmo was studying, and it went boom, and then Gizmo was here and not there anymore.
One of those days I'm gonna have to take a drink with you and listen to your stories.
Oh, Gizmo has quite a few good stories to tell.
I bet you do. Takes a hip flask and, well, night's only starting. Hands it to you.
Fair enough. I take a sip.
It's rum. It's strong rum. It's probably been in there since God knows when.
Jesus.
and it's not very good quality, but it'll get the job done.
Look, if I have to roll for Constitution, you tell me. I've got +3. I feel confident.
Nah, not that bad, but
But okay, but
yeah,
I feel it like
it's
Gizmo is like, oh, okay. The
yeah,
grog in Waterdeep is not this strong.
yeah. This is less to enjoy and more to take the edge off every now and then.
What about you, Pax? What are you going to do?
You see him hesitate for a moment before standing up stiffly again. Look for Captain Grasha.
Who is this Captain Grasha you keep talking about? Must have been one hell of a person for you to stay this loyal to them.
Captain Grasha is only the best captain in the Empire.
Didn't pay you for Patriot.
Not.
So if Grasha had been a Drake or a Caroline, no, Caroline is the Empire. What's the other one again?
Sure.
Astrea,
Parisian.
Parisian. Would that have made a difference?
I'm loyal to Captain Grasha's goals and needs. Not a flag.
Well, I suppose you and I have that in common. Of course, I suppose the needs I'm loyal to are more of my own, so that's a difference. You disapprove?
I wonder, do you join in the hopes to find companions to fulfill your needs? Or do you go through companions to fulfill your needs?
Going through companions is a very poor way to fulfill your needs. No, believe it or not, in the few days we've spent together, you've all proven to be not entirely awful company. So, I'm actually hoping to stick around a little bit. Again, of all the people I could have stumbled upon after all of that, I figure I got lucky.
Luck. Luck is only part of the strategy, always.
Oh, but strategy has very little to do with this. Even the best strategy can be ruined by luck. And even the greatest of morons can find themselves lifted above because of it. Of course, it doesn't last. It never does. But let's just say that I don't really count on luck anymore, but I most certainly respect it. Only way to stay alive, really.
What about your blade that you can call upon?
Yeah, well, that's also wasn't part of the strategy. It's something that I'm trying to figure out. Something that I probably will have to pay for at some point. but something that I intend to keep using as long as it keeps me alive.
You say something I need to figure out often, Farron. Do you know that?
I do. I do. Well, listen, ever since I started this, points to his apron, and started sailing out there, it's been one continuous lesson. And, I'm not a bad learner, not by a long shot, else I wouldn't be alive. But that thing out there points to the expanse. It teaches you very quickly that there's quite a few things that you don't know. And if you don't remember that, it'll be the last lesson you ever learn. So I try to keeps me humble.
Do you intend to return to Drake after?
You asking me if I'm a patriot? Now I have no. It's a Drake ship that was kind enough to give me my first chance at the galley way back when. And that captain recommended me to another captain who sunk, and then I ended up on another boat. And then that one sunk, and here I am.
Just for the. You know, did they sank because you were on board, or
I most
did it just
certainly
happen?
hope not. No, well, we were talking about luck, weren't we? Turns out the luck of the previous one, first one that sunk, ran out because he was not really good at making friends. So they caught his prize and sunk. Then the ensuing battle, the ship sunk.
The Drake that eats its own tail.
Tail is all his time, though I hardly think that the Drakes have a monopoly on that. You'll see any of those people out there. You, I don't know if they're imperial or if they're from the kingdoms or whatever, but more often than not, when thrown into a situation like this one, even the ones wearing wigs and powders will eat each other to try and stay alive.
And you? Do you intend to use that blade you need to figure out to protect yourself and your goals? Or to eat? Or to keep others from being eaten?
Manifested in his hand. You know, and I know how I'm sound sometimes when I'm like this. The pirate from the pirate crew, not very reliable in a fight, not very reliable in his alliance, manifested in the other hand. What's he gonna do? Takes another swig of his flask, and you realize that he's getting in the drink a little bit. I can't do this on my own. There are those that could, I'm sure. People who know the world or beat up a significant enough part of it. that they don't need to band together with others. Can't tell you what I would do if I were one of them. But I'm not. I like the idea of sticking with people and looking out for them a little bit. You go through some of the things that I've seen, you start having more respect for the little guy. No offense, looks at Gizmo.
No offense taken.
No, I'm not going to betray you. I'm not gonna eat you. You're far too good company. Sits back and starts tucking into his lunch. Well, dinner.
Pax straightens up as if almost just physically exiting that state of interrogation that he sank himself into. Well, if we're gonna get off this island, I'm gonna need more than just my blade and claws to keep a people alive. Eat, sleep. Tomorrow I'm teaching you how to keep your guard higher. And Pax starts walking away.
Wow, okay.
I think that went rather well.
I mean, you're still only in one piece, so yeah.
Yeah, still in one piece. Tell me about Waterdeep. What do you remember?
When can Gizmo start? Where it was nice. It looks quiet in where I was on the Silver Street. The workshop was running pretty good. Gizmo spent most of his time, you know, repairing magical objects for people, trying to invent new ones, sometimes making others go boom. But you cannot succeed if you don't fail a couple times in your life, you know. And there was always the southern window of the shop always gave on the pier of the city. That was very nice. Gizmo could see all the ships coming and going, and uh, well, he started to learn the patterns and knew when to go to the pier to, well, buy the good stuff and have the actual good chances to have fair prices. You don't want to go buying stuff on at Waterdeep Pier after 12. That's madness. Never do that.
You knew merchants then?
Yes, quite a few.
Did you have family?
Gizmo had some kind of family, if you can call it that. Gizmo doesn't really know what family is, at least in the common meaning of things. Gizmo had this one uncle he was very fond of, and then all the other people Gizmo found in his life were kind of becoming his family in time. A little bit like the tall lady and Pax. And also, of course, you.
You know, I didn't think when I jumped in there after Pax and Astrea. Just saw they were in trouble and dove in. How about that? I guess family does that to you.
Hey, that's what you kind of do for at least the people you want to keep alive. You just, you dive in. You can have several reasons for wanting them still alive, but it's a start.
Yeah, let's call it that. And it's obvious even to you now, kind of like during the conversation, he's been taking swig after swig,
Swigas was really, yeah.
and yeah, he's in his cups by now.
Okay. So Gizmo, actually, we probably would remark that. He would say, "Hey,
That bottle has can contain quite a lot of rum, it seems.
Not enough, but for now it'll make do. I looks through his on the inside of his apron, and then sometimes I have other things, but this got damp and didn't dry properly, so I'll have to find something else.
What about your family? Do you have any?
Oh, I don't know actually. I like to think I have a sister.
Gizmo looks at you like, a very confused dog. Like, what do you mean you like to think?
Farron?
Oh,
What do you mean you like to think that? Don't you
oh,
don't you know if you?
that's the thing, right? How do you know what you're missing from the shape of a hole in the wall? Can you tell what used to be there? I think it was a sister because that's what it feels like. Kind of. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. It's I I can't remember, you see.
And
I'm not allowed
actually,
to remember.
okay, that's very interesting. So Gizmo actually looks at you like he was thinking about doing some kind of remark on that as well, but when you say it's hard to remember, he can kind of relate. So he will be like,
Yeah, sometimes memories are not easy, but the fact that they are gone doesn't mean that, well, whatever produced them is gone as well. Maybe it's still out there somewhere. You can still find it.
I certainly hope so.
What do you mean that you're not allowed to remember? Are you like willingly forgetting things?
Another time, little man. It's a thrilling tale, and I really wish to do it justice someday. But no, not willingly.
Gizmo puts a small cobbled paw on your shoulder, and before let's say, wrapping up the scene before going back to his bed, he says,
Well, I hope you can get your sister back one day. Or at least the memories that make you feel like you had one. Maybe Gizmo could help you with that.
That would be a neat trick.
and then if you don't add anything else, he just walks away slowly to go to bed.
Okay. If everybody is satisfied with that. Oh, by the way, I love the fact that you said go Gizmo goes to bed, and that's when your camera gave out.
Well timed.
Yeah. Speaking of well timed, how about we take our break here?
Yeah, that's
We've been a little bit over with regards to our usual timing, but but when we've got scenes like this, we can take the time.
it was nice. It was
Yes.
very, very worth it.
Thank you for that. Right. Okay. So, my players, we're gonna take a 5-10 minute break. So feel free to go walk around, get yourself hydrated, get yourself fed, and for you, watching at home, we will see you on. We will see you next time. So, take care, and yeah, see you next time. Haven't come up with a bit yet. No.